Hey, welcome to part 2 of goal setting. So if you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch it. We're gonna pick up right where I left off in the first video. So in part 2, I want you to go back, if you're watching this at a different time, go back to that free writing journal exercise. So what we did in the first video is we vision casted and daydreamed and sat in maybe perhaps a meditation, you went for a walk and you free wrote everything that came to mind when you thought about how you want to feel, the goals, the visions for your life. And then we broke them down into segments, and then from those segments that make up various parts of your life, you circled 2 of the things that made you the most excited to start with. So reading those first 2 items on your vision or your dream list, your vision for your life, these 2 give you that like giddy feeling right off the hop and makes you want to work on it today and tomorrow and start it right now. Likely those visions might be really, really big, and that's fine, and I love that they're big. Someone else, one of the 2 things that got you excited might be small, and that's totally fine. So I don't want you to give yourself any trouble or start to backtrack that maybe your goal or vision is too small or too big. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're excited to work towards it right now. With that in mind, what we're gonna do is break that goal or vision down into 3 milestone marks. So for me, having a roadmap makes me feel like it's more achievable and I can get there quicker than I think. If it's just this big, huge thing that I want, but it's scary and overwhelming and I'm not sure how to get there, I find myself kind of backtracking and filling my plate with other things and not actually moving in that direction towards a true desire I have. So I want you, thinking about this goal or vision, what are 3 pretty major milestone marks that you're gonna have to achieve and check off on your roadmap to get there? So for instance, if you wanted to own a specific piece of property, like I want to own a cottage on a lake one day. It's a dream of mine and I know I'm gonna be able to achieve it. But when I think about that big audacious goal, one of the milestone marks will be find a real estate agent in the area that I want my cottage to be in the county, in the town. Find a real estate agent. Is that the first thing I need to do today? No, but it definitely is a milestone mark. So maybe there's 2 different ways to do this. You can do it reverse, 3, 2, 1, or you can do it 1, 2, 3. So the first step you need to do, then the second major milestone, then the 3rd milestone. Or some people, the way their brain works, and for me, this kind of depends on the goal, I break it down, what is this thing I would have to do or achieve or check off right before I hit my goal. So in this case, when it comes to buying a property, the step right before that would be finding a real estate agent in that area. The step before that would be doing some research and deciding where do I want my cottage to be? What makes most sense for me? Where would I enjoy it the most? Where, basically, where? So I'd have to do some research and figure that out. Is that what I need to do tomorrow to get there? No. Okay, what do I need to do before that? And so you can see how I'm gonna be breaking it down. And so eventually, maybe the first thing I need to do right now is just create a Pinterest board and get some inspiration going and get some cottage vibes, what I want it to look like. And that's gonna keep me excited and engaged, and it's gonna keep that dream alive for me. Something else I could do right now that's a milestone mark would be just saving money and building my business. And so you can see how a big goal like that, when I break it down, it is achievable, it is doable. But what I have to do first is just keep the dream alive by creating some Pinterest inspiration around it and saving that inspo as it comes up, and continue to build my business. So then another goal for me would be, okay, what do I need to do to build my business? And you can see how that would break down. So when you have a larger goal, it's a little more webby and complicated, and that's totally fine. A smaller goal, for an example, would be smaller goal. What's a smaller goal? Maybe it's launching a new program. Let's say if you want to launch a new program, if you're a web designer, or you want to launch a new class series, maybe you want to launch your blog, maybe you want to launch, I don't know, maybe you got a Cricut and you're wanting to launch this new Cricut fun thing you're doing. Lots of Cricuts are super trendy right now. Breaking down that launch would be coming up with a name for it. It would be coming up with a description. It would be coming up with prices. It would be maybe you start an Instagram for it. Maybe you open an Etsy for it. So I want you to break it down into steps. And then you're going to circle 3 major milestones out of that map towards your goal. So remember, you can reverse engineer it, or you can start from the beginning and work your way up. At that point, you might have a list of 10 things. And what I'd want you to do is to circle or mark 3 major milestone ones. And those are 3 milestone marks that you are going to commit to celebrating when you get there. Because I think many of us are just in a rush. We're rushing through life, we're rushing to get somewhere, and we forget to celebrate the little wins along the way. And the little wins celebrate the growth and your strength and your ability to carry on and move forward. And the little milestone marks mean just as much to celebrate as the rest of them. So you're gonna circle or mark 3 milestone marks for yourself. This is gonna push you to not be stagnant. It's gonna push you to do the little things along the way that get you to your milestone mark, and then continue and do the next few little things to get you to your milestone mark. So you can see how now you've created this roadmap for yourself that can be adjusted, and as you learn more, one thing might change and then you'll add something in and that will make sense. But it gives you a mark, a roadmap, a place to, especially if you're a visual person, having this written down in front of you makes it seem way less scary and way more achievable. And part of this is your mindset. So that's it for the second part of goal setting, just creating that roadmap for yourself. This might take a little bit of time, and it might take a couple little sessions for yourself where you write things down and then you do some research and you sit on it and then you come back to it. But after the roadmap, we're gonna get to part 3, and we're gonna talk about actioning it. We're gonna talk about obstacles, we're gonna talk about consistency, and we're gonna talk about making your way towards your goal, making your way towards this desire and bringing it to life amidst the chaos of real life, amidst your daily responsibilities of being an adult. How can you still work in that direction and make it happen? So stay tuned for part 3, and thanks for listening.